What's happening, everyone? Welcome to the eve of New Year's Eve Airbrush Down and Dirty Tricks live feed. Just after 8 o'clock, we got things started out. I did hit record, thank you very much. Glad we got so many people here already, man. We already got 32 people in here, that's awesome. Thank you all for coming in and checking it out. Let me see who we got on tonight. I believe we have sound. I put a little music intro on that for the first time, so I got that going. And let's see what we got here. We got Mr. Leahy, Mr. Webb, Chaotic, Brady, Michael Stanton, Paul, Joe, Big Squatch, Shine, hey honey, thank you for the Christmas card, Juan Carlos, Philippe over on Facebook, sounds good, Chris Garcia, good. Lindsay Joe, Happy New Year. Happy almost New Year to everyone. Let's see who else we got in here. I'm going to see if I can do something on my Facebook side. So it's a little... I'm trying to see if I can see comments, but it doesn't... No. Doesn't seem to show me comments if I go that way either. So we won't go that way. We'll go this way. And it just is what it is. We got Matt... Jeff Styles! Hope you're feeling better, buddy. Things looking good. We got Debbie Rich. Goodbye 22. Hello 23. Absolutely. Gary Gregory. Yeah, a lot of people in here tonight. So hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas and Hanukkah and time with family, and everyone's happy and safe and didn't get too drunk. Sorry for last night. Things just... I was updating all the system with some new gear and a Mac update, and things just kind of went sour. And I was fighting it too much, so it just wasn't going to happen last night. I was getting up to it, and by the time I got it sorted out, I was done. So I wasn't going to be able to do the feed. So we're doing it tonight instead. We got Terrence Phillips. What else we got here? A lot of people. We got 43 in the house. All right. So let me show you what I got cooking tonight. It is something I've never painted here before. What do we got here? Okay. We got this guy. So this is like a kind of dragon cobra snake. It's a variation of a one I did years ago. Long time ago on a Shelby GT500 KR for this customer, and it was ridiculous. It was 1,500 horsepower Mustang. It was stupid. The guy just basically took a GT500 and overbuilt the motor with like 95-pound fuel injectors and everything else, and it was stupid because Mustangs, we know, don't actually hook up very well. So yeah, and I did this a long time ago, and I always loved it, and I always wanted to kind of paint a version for myself, and I was just racking my brains yesterday for what to paint. I wanted to do something, with 2022 going to 2023. I was going to do like a rabbit or a tiger and maybe a yin-yang together. There was a bunch of great suggestions on there as well, and that kind of got me thinking, and I tried to do like a half-face, tiger and a half-face. Dude, it looks stupid. It looks really bad. Tried a few other things, just didn't work. And so this kept... a few people mentioned a snake, and that kept popping into my head. And so literally that just, at the last minute, I'm like, all right, we're going this route. So let me show you what I got here. We're going to bring up this. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Oh, Philip's on here. Nice, yes. So Philip's a lot better over here on Facebook. Who we got? Poland, hey Scott. Welcome from Quebec, Poland. Thank you very much for popping in. Oh, before we get started, let's all raise a glass to say goodbye to 2022. See you later. It was okay. It was better than 21. Let's hope 2023 is better. And for this one, I'm going to close out this bottle. This is a Mayo. It is a Japanese single grain whiskey. It's a 17-year. It's really good. It was actually bottled in 2018, so this is almost a 22-year-old right now. So cheers, everyone. Hope everyone has a great night tomorrow night, and a great year next year. Cheers. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. And say goodbye to that bottle. Really cool box, though. That was a good one. This was a gift from my wife last year. Thanks, honey. All right. That's good to go. All right, back to what we have here. Going in. Awesome. There we go. There we go. And before I get going too far, we got to thank everyone for the companies that I've worked with this year. With Fisheye Filter Kenny, all the crew at Iwata and the Nest Iwata. Thank you very much, Cratex Colors, for all the paint help and all the cool colors we're using. FBS Tape, obviously, for all the masking supplies and everything in the support. We got, obviously, Coast, where we get it all from. And Vision Air. Vision Air is also Flake King. And this is what my rack here is. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but yes. It's really awesome. And I got to get Trulers up there. All these companies have supported me and helped with this feed, so it makes this possible for me to come and do this. And as well as my other things, like especially Trulers this year came out for the first time on my tech school days, where I go into a vocational tech school and I teach for a full day. This time we did 2 days. We had 25 students each day, so it was pretty awesome. So thank you, Trulers. Thank you, everyone else, for an awesome, awesome 2022. And we are going to go. Chris, if you want to refill that bottle, you're more than welcome to dig out the bank account. But that one's not cheap. So, I'm good. All right, let's take that down here. Let's get the reference. Dan, Paul, hey, Larry, thank you. All right, and what we're going to do here, we are going to get started. All right, so what I did, this is one of my drawings. I did this in Procreate. This was, like I said, it's a sketch from something I had years ago, and it was a vector, but I didn't want to use the vector. The vector was really shoddy. It was just really a quick thing I used back then. So this one, I just redrew it, kind of tweaked it a little bit, and kind of modernized it a bit from there. And then what I did is I did the old pencil transfer trick on the back. Super soft pencil. And then basically acted like carbon paper and transferred it to my image here. So I'm going to hand cut out, but I can also cut this apart and do a paper cut template. We're going to keep this pretty light. We're going to keep it, a simple color scheme. I'm going to do it basically like a black and gray tattoo. I'll probably do some red accents. I started to lay heat earlier. He suggested in reds. I would have loved to do this in reds. I almost wish I did like a red, like an orangey red background now, and then brought like oranges and yellows to it. Would have been really, really killer. But so we're gonna do a black and gray. So basically, what I did, like I said, I transferred this on just like carbon paper. Super simple. And I'm gonna cut out the silhouette. I'm gonna black most of this background out because I want him to come to the foreground more. So I'm just going to do a loose cutout of this guy. Standard X-Acto blade. Now obviously, yeah, this is something I could have plotted pretty simply. Especially this one, I already had the design. But yeah, sometimes it's nice just to hand cut and just keep it simple. Oh, this blade is bum. Yeah. Oh, it's got a bend in it. Yeah, I was wondering why it was like pulling. It was like out of alignment. Oh, wow. The tip was a little bent, and as I'm going through the blade, it's like, whoa. try that again here. Oh, there we go. Just pulling to the left. It's actually when I did this was funny because I did this originally and I did like a wicked quick mask on it, so I didn't care, like the vector was really poor. And I just literally slapped it on, blew a few lines in there, and then just started painting all freehand because it was such a big. This was down the side of both cars, and the whole body of the snake went down to the rear. It was a great job. Yeah, pretty much. I'd say that job was like 90% freehand. Oops. I'm going to have it come outside the borders a little bit. I started here.
Someone asked which blades do you prefer?
These are just standard X-Acto blades. So these are the regular number 11s. I usually get the, what's the brand? I don't love X-Actos much because I swear they dulled down the regular X-Acto blades so they can sell you the blue and the gold. And then I thought the blue got a little shaky. Havel. Havel. I get their blades. I like theirs better than anyone else's. And then I think it's Guilfoyle. They carry those at Coast. Those are my favorite ones overall. X-Actos are like my third favorite. This one is an X-Acto itself. So I got these down the street. At the supply house I have nearby. But I find they get dull really quick. As opposed to the Havels. I think it's Havel. Those cut super. They're really nice for a long time.
Someone asked, does it really like make a difference, the different brands and stuff?
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I found like you get the cheap ones from like your Hobby Lobby or like Amazon, like the basics and stuff, like the really like no-name ones. Man, they don't last. They tip really easy. They bend super easy. A lot of times you'll get in there rusted. And they just don't hold a tip. They don't hold an edge. So I found the money you spend, because none of them are cheap. So you're talking about like a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there. The cheap ones you'll burn through twice as fast. So you're really not saving anything. Yeah, that's what I found. Well, Styles, got to take it easy now. Can't be out being crazy. So he's not. Now he's got to sit home and watch us. Styles didn't see that on Gary's post in here. He's like, hey, Styles never chimes in. He's always out being crazy. Now he's got to relax a bit. All right, so for this background, what am I going to do for the background? You know what I'm going to do? I think I need a big curve. Damn, I don't have the big bird curve. Is this one big enough? No. Oh, I wish I had the big bird up here that's in my shop. I don't have it. Nope. Just a couple more. Nope. Alright, nope. We're gonna go swirly. I'm just gonna mostly black it out. Oh, you know what? Let's do... Steve, this would look good actually. I'm gonna do the background in red and then have the black square off. I think that'll be cooler. This is Steve's favorite red. That scarlet red. That's a cool color, actually. So just a red swirl background. And for those who are about to ask, this is one of my glue templates that I make using just simple hot glue. But the trick to it is, man, it's got to be super non-stick. Like, you can't use regular aluminum foil or parchment because it melts right through it. It's like the super non-stick aluminum foil. That's what you have to use. And then you get this really hot and you just swirl it on there and make some cool effects. I got some really big ones downstairs, so I should have brought those up, but we're doing this on the fly. Just to give that background some interest. You know, I'm going to cut. Honey, you are amazing. Thank you very, very much. Happy New Year to you. You don't know how much that helps. Thank you so much. My whole family was really moved by your card. Thank you very much for sending that. We actually got it on Christmas Eve when we had the whole family here, so that was really cool. Let's get that eye red. Let me go into... Let's go to the top-down cam. You can kind of see.
Shine Customs said that's a great stencil idea. Will solvents melt it?
Nope. Nope. Not at all. So I usually go and get like industrial glue. Like I usually don't use like the craft glue. I think I was at an industrial supply. I just grab. You know, sometimes you gotta kind of try different sticks. 'Cause I've never quite figured out which ones are the best. Like, some did okay, some didn't. None of them reacted funny. It was just whether they held together or they were too floppy.
Calvin asked, where is Super Chat located?
Oh, so if you look where it says chat down the bottom, if you're on, you know, if you're on... Oh God, YouTube. There's a little dollar symbol there. That's a super chat. There's all different stuff you can do and icons.
If you're on the computer, there's like the reactions. It should be next to the reactions.
Yeah, on the computer it's next to reactions. On your phone, I'm not sure where it is, or if you're on a TV, there won't be any way to do it on a TV.
Carl said I'm noticing a pattern. Every time you don't know which stencil to grab, you grab that one.
Yeah,
it's
Carl.
Like a new French curve.
Yeah, it is. So, and down in my shop, I have like dozens of like, dude, I have some that are like this big. I have some that are small, all different sizes. I have some like spider web patterns. It's really, you know, it's a cheap trick. Realistically, it just it does the job, and it just adds a lot of interest without breaking the bank, so to speak. And Gary's over on Facebook. How you doing, sir? So again, I apologize, Facebook, if I missed your comments. The problem with Facebook is, for some reason on the app, I got to get another screen over here, like a full screen that I can see. And Kaylee can probably see the comments better than I can on Facebook. So if anything comes up, just keep an eye on that.
That one just like popped up.
Yeah. Because I can't see it here. Like if I look up one, you know, once I type it, it comes and goes. Then, you know, I scroll back and forth, all the comments are there, and then they disappear. It's a weird... They never used to do this. And now it does, and I don't know why. Anyway, I say this every week. I'm tired of it. Darn Facebook. Like I said, I'm just going to kind of blacken it. It looks wicked pink online.
It really does.
It is not this pink, I swear to God.
No, it's not.
It's really a deep, deep, deep red.
It is, yeah.
Like the color I just sprayed is like maroon. So I think I probably have to mess with the camera settings, but that's not going to happen right now. I'll go in and I'll kind of pick out some of these and just kind of work with them a little bit.
Steve said that you sent him a picture of the video setup. You do not need another screen.
I do, man. I don't have any screens. So I got one screen that shows me all the cameras, and then
there's a screen for the
for those who've never seen it.
There's a screen for the YouTube feed.
I don't know if I can do this. This might break it. So I have all this next to me. Okay, this is what I deal with on the stream. So this one shows me all the cameras and the stats and all that stuff, and if I'm recording and the audio and what's up next. And this one is just a screensaver that runs in the background. That's all the switcher. That does all the commands. That also does like how many cameras are up on screen at once, like that whole 3-cam setup. And I see you guys. You can say hi to yourself. So that's where I'm seeing that, and then my Facebook is on my phone. So realistically, I just need another iPad mini to go next to that one so I can run Facebook on that one and this one here. And I have that camera looking at me.
And I've got this. I've got two.
And then
one for the stream stuff and one for.
Then Kaylee's got her screens. Yep.
I have like one for the YouTube and Facebook, and then one for like the actual like control stuff.
Yeah. So Kaylee can control everything I'm doing, but I have that all set up so I can do it as I need to.
You can just do it like without talking, so it's more smooth.
Yeah. So you can see when shit goes wrong with all this stuff. It just goes wrong. When it goes right, it's a really good time. Everyone can see everything good and everything looks awesome. Alright, I'm going to drop shadow this so that fang's like way out here. The further you bring that out, the more it's gonna drop. And this has kind of got a hard edge, so I'm going to give it I'm going to find that edge, I'm going to move it, but I'm going to hold it up a little bit. Just so it's a semi-hard, it's a little bit soft. No jokes, please. Same thing here, the tongue's going to come down and split that way, split down. Holy shit, Calvin, thank you. Thank you. That is amazing. All this stuff just goes back into the system. Like, you know, I might buy a coffee or two with the money. But realistically, it goes back into the system. So Calvin and Honey and all the support from everyone over the years, that's where half this equipment came from. It's investing in this. So the feeds get better and better. It's so I can do stuff like this multicam view. I can switch independently like this. I can go in and make stupid sound effects. I just did this today. Yep. Crowds. The famous. Yep. What do we got? Another crowd. I don't know if you can hear it.
That one's kind of quiet. Yeah.
That's kind of quiet. And when shit gets crazy. Yes, it's some stupid stuff, but that allows me to have some fun with this stuff. What color was your shading red? No, honestly, I just put a little bit of black in it. Had I thought I was going to do the background red, I probably would have taken some red violet and then maybe some purple to it before I go into black. And I actually still might. Hey, Kaylee, do me a favor, come over here. There's some purple right in here, right behind the big UVLS. I think that's red violet. That one, I think. Turn it around.
Yeah, red violet.
Red violet. Whoa. So let's add a little red violet into that. Wait, who asked that question now? Someone asked about the red violet. I figured this. Oh, M-Web did. Yeah. So this is for you. Put a little a little red violet. Now you can see, actually, I love that better. So see that tone? So it's more purpley red, which will actually be nice. Because the black's starting to muddy it up, now I can actually bring that out a little bit more. Without, like, contaminating the piece.
Oh. There's my cat.
Brandy Benson, that is absolutely amazing. You guys are so generous tonight, and I know with Christmas, everything else is not easy. Thank you so much. I'm gonna keep this thing going. Keep painting, investing. You know I gave Steve the bug too. Steve's been rocking it with his feed setup as his is getting better. His is gonna, I'm warning you, Steve, it's gonna be the same. You just gotta keep going. Because you're like, oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do this. Probably as you watch YouTube videos and guys doing this and that, you're like, oh, I can do that. It's almost as bad as airbrushing. Because I just want to buy more stuff. Alright, so I think I can probably work with that for now. Let me see, I'm going to pop a little color. And dump that and save it. So I love these little mixing cups. Little medicine cups are epic. And I can switch back to the red. The biggest thing is keeping paint off all this equipment, which, if you couldn't tell, it's all on like monitor swing arms. So like, you know, like standing desk swing arms, every single thing's on its own tray. And it all slides out and away from my bench when I'm not filming, so I can keep it clean. I'm gonna go back to this reference photo. That is 3-Up Media. Go back to the red. I wish I didn't look this pink online. No offense to pink, Michelle. Just with the badass, snake, I want that red. Red, red, red. Yeah, if any of you guys are streamers and got questions on it, I don't know everything, but I've learned a lot over the years, and the reason why I did all the equipment is all this is hardware streaming. So my computer doesn't really have to do anything. As far as my computer is concerned, this is just a webcam. And it's like a webcam video going out. It's just really high res, but all the multiple cameras feeding into one don't actually go to the computer at all. They go into this control box. And then it kind of takes it from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a few sections out. Just to kind of shadow things. And just like when I plot, I'm on a light colored surface, so for those of you who follow me, when I'm on a light color surface as a background, I go from bottom to top. So I work my way kind of, up the food chain. I go from the bottommost area, which in this case I start with the background, and I paint that first, and then I go up to kind of the next section, and the next section, kind of build up till I get out of it. And I found that works best. And it creates it's less stress painting because I'm never having to go back in and cut a bunch of times. Okay, so watch. So you see what I just cut here. So I'm going to work from background to foreground. So this snake's curling around. Let me bring the reference up here. And I didn't design this as really a follow-along how-to. I don't think I'm going to offer this one as a download or anything. But just this is an example of how you approach a design like this. So I know that this was the background, and I know this part of his body is behind this one. This is under this. This whole section is under all this, so I work my way through. And that creates a much easier path. And I don't have to remask. And this stuff here, I just used the FBS Gold mask. See how I did that? That's all preloaded too, so I can do that. Makes it easier for everyone. And I'm gonna ask 50 questions. Which mask? Which this? Which that? So I made these labels up, and I can go. Oh, I use blue. I use blue, gold. That's my Visionaire. And there's my store. Which that didn't come up. My fisheye filters, all that stuff. All my sponsors. Oops, my side by side. Oh, that's a cool view. I haven't used that view before. Huh. The side by side view. This was my Prey cam. That's why I did Prey. I had 4 screens up. And that's side by side, side by side. Oh, I like that one. I'm going to use that more often. That one's kind of cool. And 3 high. And then back. If I make the eyes pink. I already painted the eye. Maybe I can put a little pink pearl in there. Pink candy. So, here's the deal. I'm not going to do scales. Okay? This isn't a scale video. I wanted to be more dragon-like. And honestly, one of my favorite stencils for it is either this guy here from Texture Effects 3. And I don't have the paper one, but Dennis Mathewson's had the bubble effects. I love the bubble effects. But I don't do them a lot. I just kind of register them in a little bit. Really light. Just so I can kind of go in later. And we're going to use them as kind of guides for like scales like this. And we're going to do some erasing. And you can also do, where is my big, oh, I didn't grab one.
What do you need?
In that room, there's one of the texture effects in that room on the table. Mm-hmm. It's like almost square rectangle. It's got really big shapes in it. Okay. It's a paper one. And I can go back and do a lot of those later. So this is candy black. I'm actually out of my Micron right now. This is my CMC, which I haven't used in a while. So I wanted to bring this one out tonight. And I'm going to do a little quick drop shadow. Here's a good tip for doing like a radius drop shadow. Because remember, it's not just going to follow that line because this is way in the background. This is in the foreground. That shadow is going to curve. But don't do this. You don't want to like put the stencil right against and get a hard one. I can go like here where it's tight and then kind of loosen it up. I'm just going to put my fingers underneath it like this. And kind of hold it about an 1/8 inch, a 1/4 inch off the surface. And just let it. And you'll see it. It gives a softer edge. See how it gives a softer edge? Oh, I see what's happening. I think we got too much blue going in on this one. I wonder if I can take that out. Well, that just gets darker. Oh well, sorry. Yep, one of those. Thank you, kid.
These ones are like the negatives.
Oh yeah. So like I like using these guys sometimes for texture. You know, because I can go in and just add some interesting kind of shapes that I can play with them later. Pull this off. And that's kind of the belly wrapping underneath. And this is one of those, it's going to be really back in the background, so we can do a lot here with this. But that's all I need at this point to register it. The rest is going to be freehand. So I don't need to overwork this. I don't need to spend a ton of time in there. Okay, same thing, working my way out. But this is where when guys, and we've had the internet trolls, and oh, everything's with a plotter, everything's with this, everything's, oh, it's hand-drawn, then it's masked. And I use a plotter because it's faster than doing 2 of these on a car, but I don't need to because I know how to do it by hand. This is the hand process. When I do it by plotter, the plotter is just mimicking the same lines that I'm doing here, realistically. Stencil everywhere. Well, I get these guys really good here. But you could also do too, if you want to make them like scales, you can just get in and hold it in place and just shade the bottoms. Like that. Take a few out. See what that did there? Happy little scales. Yeah, I got the 3D print. I don't use it for any of the stencil stuff. The craft cutter I got works awesome. Like I did that whole feed I did last. That's not the feed. The whole thing I did with the school last week. You know, I have 50 students, so I went and got cardstock and I cut 50 silhouettes of the skull stencils, and then that matched up with the plot. So yeah. I want to thank everyone for being patient last night and wait until tonight. Well, sometimes Fridays are a better feed. Maybe because we're all poor. And can't go out on Friday nights anymore. Oh, we're just all old. Right? We're just all old. We save our money. That's it. I'm going with that. Yeah, man, I use the texture effects like crazy. Gerald literally designed the best groups of textures out there. And I would say the next ones are Drew Blair's. He's got some of the nicest ones out there as well. And then Tommy Ham's. So there's a lot of good ones out there. But Gerald's, for some reason, just... A lot of the other ones are good, but man, Gerald's are just more... They're so universal for a lot of things. They're just... No matter how many times I use them, I don't feel like they're repetitive. And I know they're paper, so they kind of disintegrate after a while, but I kind of like it. Because what happens is the stencil kind of changes a little bit as it degrades. And for like the, what is it, 30, 40 bucks for a set of 3. I don't care if they degrade after 6 months to a year. I'll buy another set. Then I'll keep using them until there's literally scraps of nothing. So the cool thing here is this is where you can start having fun with the eraser and start doing some erasing techniques. Man, that camera looks really blue. I wonder if I shut one of these blues off.
Do you want me to do it?
Try shutting that one off and see if that does it. I don't know if it's catching. No, doesn't change it. Go back. Huh. Nope. Oh well. Nah, it doesn't change it much in the camera because I'm looking at this one.
Maybe it's this because that's more of a purple tint.
Yeah, give it a tilt and see if it changes. So this is where I like doing some texture.
You have to look here to be able to tell because that's behind.
No, it takes it all off me and makes it harder to see. Okay, good. So you can also use like the regular like stick erasers, which I don't have one in front of me. I meant to grab one.
What?
One of my stick erasers. Let me see if I brought one.
This isn't it, is it?
No. Nope. I don't have one up here. Oh well. So yeah, so whenever you're doing erasing, solvent, you gotta put the solvent in a little lighter. But for like this stuff, like I can go in and kind of do these scales up a little bit. You can spend as much time as you want in here. But I'm also going to go with some white towards the end. The nice thing about these ones, these are USB rechargeable. So I love these ones. And I'm telling you, I barely charge the thing. It goes forever. Oh, I got a stick eraser. This is a really...
Oh, you found one.
Yeah, these ones you can't get anymore. I got this one from Drew.
Let me see.
And this is the green one.
Oh, I love those.
These you can't get. These are old ones. These don't. They have manufactured these since before like I was born. And they're really hard. Like it's down to a nub is all I got left of this one. But yeah, you can get a lot of interesting, cool textures in here. But the most common one is a Faber-Castell. They're like a soft white eraser. They work really well. They're just hard enough. I found some other ones online before like this, but they're almost as hard as the green ones, but they're a little bit more brittle. Again, these are, you can't find these either. These are hard to get. You usually gotta buy like a lot of them. Like I don't mean a lot, I mean a lot. Like a Again, like I don't have to spend too much time here. Most of the stuff I can do towards the end. You can see it's more of a white. Faces are hard, man. Yeah, I keep trying to look at Facebook. Any comments like throwing through? I just need to...
No.
Okay.
There's people saying like, looking good.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep as much... You know, I just can't see the feed the same way. I gotta get another screen in there. Yes, Steve, I need another screen. Okay, let's get into the next part. I want to get this mask off. This is... Yeah, this part drives me the craziest. Just because I want to get the mask off it as fast as possible, so I want to work background as much as possible. I'm going to try to keep the teeth in there. Oh, I just made a boo-boo. I have to put red in here. That you're seeing through the gums into the background. So before I get too far, this is kind of that membrane that's right here on that side, but you're seeing through to the red, so I need to get that red in there. But this is kind of how paintings develop. You gotta, sometimes you don't think of everything. It's not paint by number. The only time it's paint by number is when someone's already done all the work ahead of time. Then it's paint by number, but when you do it the first time, that's where the time comes in. If I didn't do that, it would look funny. A little bit, but it would make it look off. It would make it look weird because it's not the same tone. And I'm going to put that drop in. It can be a little darker overall, but it needs to have that red tone. And now I can pull this and this. Yeah, man. So I added some new hardware because everyone knows I need more hardware. And then there was a Mac update, and then this wasn't talking to this and wasn't working with that, and turned into kind of a shit show. And even continuing today, it took me, like, for the systems I use to control all, you know, to do all this stuff, and, like, bring up all this and do this, and that all was just not talking to each other. And so I had to basically, realistically, I had to uninstall everything and reinstall it. So I want this whole thing to be the darkest, because that's going to be really pushed back in the background. This is where you can do some erasing in here, some highlights. A couple little things. Yeah, man, faces are tough. It's, you know, it really comes down, depends on the portrait you're working from, how clear it is. And you got to remember, there's no lines in faces. Biggest thing, people make the mistake, it's just shapes, color shapes and tone. That's what you got to work on, the color shapes and tone, and just, it kind of block things out till you get it to where you want it. And just remember, there's no lines. The only time you can do a line, maybe here and there, you know, in hair. You know, there's lines in hairs. Maybe when you, I find like doing old men or old people in general have a lot of wrinkles, a lot more fun, a lot more forgiving, because you can kind of hide within those wrinkles and just, you know, let that help build the structure. I find like kids and like teenagers are the hardest, just because there's all the features are very soft, and you have to slowly blend everything in. And you know, I learned from watching guys like Drew and Dan Powers that oops, I wasn't supposed to pull that tooth. They work with opaque versus I've always worked, because I've been in automotive paint so long, with a lot of transparents. And, you know, when you work with transparents, you build, but if you make a mistake, you can't hide it. When you work with opaque colors, you can correct mistakes really easy. Not really easy, but easier. So, I gotta fix this tooth. I was just going to say a main joke about nice tooth, but I'm going to keep that offline. Bring this down to here. And bring this down and just fix that tooth. Here we go. The discount still available on your website? No, the discount was off. Got ended the day after Christmas Day. Maybe I'll do another one for the start of the year.
Michelle said Marilyn Monroe is the hardest face to do because she has no lines.
Well, yeah, the problem with Marilyn Monroe, like, especially whenever you do an old celebrities, those photos were like early Photoshop and softened because there is no lines. You're just dealing with shapes and shading. Just the way photos were then. So, yeah, there's not much to work with. Most old photo celebrities, you know, you're either working from a screenshot taken from like a VHS Like, even when I was doing the Godfather one, when you really look at all the Godfather ones, the photos are horrible. You know, there's a lot of interpretation. There's actually one of those big coffee table books of Marilyn Monroe, and they're super high res photos, not internet photos. Internet photos they're copies of a copy of a copy of a copy, and then they're blurred for internet. So yeah, they're horrible. So you're not going to get anywhere from them too well. So that's why, you know, I can't really show it now. Well, is the Vision Air logo still up on screen for all you guys? Because it's...
It is.
Huh. Because I shut it off on my end.
Here, I fixed it. I just moved it to a blank screen. That's weird. I couldn't see it because of the way it's set up.
Okay. But it's not switching.
Oh,
there it goes.
That's behind.
Yay, there it goes. Alright, let's do these teeth. So back here in the mouth, there's just a lot of like meat and texture. Again, I'm just gonna keep it really dark in here. Okay, good. Yeah, it must have been stuck on my screen then. So now, see, these ones are seeing the red background. That's why those two got cut out. You see in red. These two, you're seeing through that kind of membrane into the mouth. So it's going to be darker in there. That's how you kind of work that order. And things start to make way more sense. I do have like a portrait thing I've been working on that I got a concept of, and if you look back, let me see, it's kind of hard to see here. So if you look, see the girl right here with the face, I forget the model's name, but then I kind of blended a skull in, not Day of the Dead style, it just kind of blends in. I got a new version of that I've been working on that I'm going to do in the very near future. I haven't decided if I'm doing it as a how-to or if I'm just doing it as a painting. Which is it's a different approach. So when I do a painting for how-to, I have to think of it very differently than when I'm doing it for a feed. I mean, or just a painting. Because when I'm doing it for painting, I can just kind of throw things together because I'll work it out as I paint. When I do it as a feed or a class, I gotta kind of pre-plan everything and kind of anticipate the steps and what people are going to need to know. So it's a different process. That's why a lot of times I stick to things that are a little simpler. Not that this is simple, but it's not like overly complicated, and it's tight. You know, it's basically working from background to foreground and layering, and then you can work the detail in it. So there's not a lot of like super difficult like transitions and like backmasking, and you know, because on these feeds I really, and I've done some obviously that have gone to 2 feeds. I don't think I've gone past 2 feeds for a painting. But it's just not the same. I try to get them so I can do this in 2 hours. And there's a little bit of a Bob Ross approach where I've kind of planned things out and I've pre-set up certain things that I can do it in a timely manner and not have it be super boring. And then if I have to, I can edit things later. You know, I think that next painting, I'm probably going to do that one as a painting, and maybe I'll take excerpts of it, but because sometimes I haven't really painted in a long time. Like, that wasn't for, like, a client or for a feed, something like that. I haven't just painted something in a long time. The pile of stencils. Yeah, in here, it just grows and grows. Which is why you do the side-by-side. See? Now you can't see it. Oh, it's funny, the blue shifted now on the side-by-side. To this one, to that one. So it's gonna be a weird thing with the view. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, I got the tongue. I got kind of a tooth coming here. Like I said, this is all inside the mouth, so it's just all kind of gets dark in here. I need everything to kind of stand off. So again, when you build in background or foreground, you got to make sure you keep everything dark and then bring everything up. So you can cut masks on a canvas. I do it quite often. You want to use, like, this stuff works great on canvas. It's the only mask actually sticks to canvas really well. Like native canvas. Gesso canvas sticks really well, but native cloth canvas, stucco walls, this mask will stick to it. It'll kind of get in all the nooks and crannies. And it cuts super easy, so you don't have to put a lot of pressure on it. If you're trying to cut some of the thicker vinyl mask on canvas, A, it doesn't stick well. So that's always a problem. And B, yeah, you'll kind of cut through. What's the white rings on your backer board? Oh! These are some of the new things from Trulers. So if you guys don't know, and this project really isn't going to showcase it, but Trulers are like magnetic rulers or like repositionable, you can keep sticking them. So like these are magnets on steel, but they also have like repositionable sticky back ones. But what he also has is all different diameter curves. So these are awesome for, you can either use them as a stencil to blow around, but when you're doing like tape outs and you want to, like, say you do the side of a gas tank and you want to match a radius, then do a straight line, you know, you can do that. You can come around and keep it. So these are great. Also good if you're a welder or a fabricator. These are awesome because they'll flex around your panel and hold an actual shape. So these are cool. That's what's awesome with Trulers. They're a really, really good product. Yeah, I wish I could find more dye bonders somewhere near me. No, so here's big swatch. What I do, I go to a metal supplier, like a sign shop supplier. Not a sign shop, the place where the sign shops get their metal. I buy 4x8 sheets of it. So I buy 4x8 sheets of it, and I buy enough from this place so they'll cut them for me for pretty much free. And so I'm paying like 90 or 100 bucks for a 4x8 sheet. And I'll have them cut to 18 by 24s. And I'll get like 12 of those, 11 or 12. And then those can just hand cut because you can just score with a blade and snap them. So 12 by 18s, I get 22 out of them. So for 90 bucks, 22, you're under 4. You're like 4 something a piece. So that's how I do mine, as opposed to ordering them pre-cut from like a store. Now the only store I know that sells them, and they're always really good, the square, the cut well, is Coast. Coast Airbrush has, you know, a Dynabond or a Lumacore or another brand like that. So there's quite a bit out there. Chasing cats. That's where I looked, but they went 170 each or so. Yeah, but my metal supply, my sign supplier, they only charge you 90 bucks for an 1/8 inch. I think this is Durabond, or it might be a Lumacore. Check a few different ones around different parts of the state. You know, the problem is shipping kills you. But try some different metal suppliers. You could probably beat them up for a little bit of a better price. So I get mine. You might be able to order them online from my place. It's Supplies Unlimited in Wakefield, Massachusetts. If they're only $90 or $100 for a sheet, it might not be that bad to pay the shipping. So like I said, my goal is to get this damn mask off there quick, and if I stopped talking, it would happen. And then I could just paper cut my way for the rest of the detail. But so anyone got any good drinks tonight? What's everyone drinking? Steve's got some stuff. Steve, what do you got? What are you drinking tonight? I wish I did the feed earlier in the week. I could have got Steve up here. But me and Steve got to figure our fireside chat soon. Oh, because your supplier is a sign maker. That's why you're paying too much, because he's trying to double market. You want to go to a supply house that supplies sign shops that aren't sign makers. You know, that's where I go to. I go to a supply house where all the sign makers go get their supplies from. So what that sign maker does is he's buying it from a supply house and then overselling it to you. That's probably why it's charging so much. But 24 by 24 is great, you know, if you're getting it really cheap. Okay, the tongue. It's gonna fold. I'm gonna have a fold in the middle, so it kind of rolls over. But it's still cylindrical shading. I'm gonna get my Pocket Graphics curve. Drinking tea. Saving your liver for the next rendezvous or SEMA? It's probably not a bad idea. A little Pocket Graphics for the tip of the tongue. We'll make the tips of the tongue kind of black, so that way they kind of poke naturally, because they're going to go outside the border, and I want them to kind of lift off. We'll put some drool in here. Here, what is the... There's my electric eraser. It's hard to see all the little detail on video, but all this stuff helps. So I still got 63 in here. That's awesome. And again, I want to thank everyone who did the super chats. Calvin and Honey, and I've just lost everyone else.
Oh yeah.
They do drop off after a bit. You know, the reason I spend so much time here is this is really the focal. And then we'll obviously do the eye. So back here it gets really simple. I have a bottle of Talister. A dirty, dirty island of sky. Powerful, smoky, brooding spice. That's very, very descriptive, Steve. So I finished my Mayho. It might be time to go into the Buffalo Trace. That could be a nice one. Got this for my brother. Thank you, Brother Todd. We'll just put him to the side. He's a little buddy. We'll put a little buddy right there. It's a happy little buffalo. Alright, let's pull this mask. Losing my tools. There it is. I can reach under and like find stuff. Alright, let's pull this off. Almost up to the mouth. I mean, almost up to the face. Like I said, like this is that focal. This is where let's get in here, switch up. where you can really start. That's kind of draws you in. Nope, nothing wrong with Bud Light. I just can't drink a bunch of it. And Webb, thank you for popping in. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the support all year. Next year we'll keep on going. Do some more. Drop shadows and teeth. Gary Shees, thank you, sir. Actually, Gary and Michelle have some paintings coming. COVID knocked me out, and I haven't cleared anything since before December. So everything's finally feeling. I was still even up to last week, up to Christmas, I was still beat up from it. But I managed to get my bathroom done before the holidays, so that was good. Yeah, just work through it, but I could work like a couple hours a day, and then I was done. It's crazy. I can usually power through almost anything, but okay, that mouth is looking good with the tongue's kind of coming out. Good, good, good. I really gotta get the membership board set up because there's all different like icons, other stuff you can do, and there's a whole bunch of things I have planned for it. Just gotta get off my butt and do it. Well, I gotta work with someone who's good at doing it. So many pieces. So these teeth, they'll stay to the end. So basically I'm just cutting these teeth because these are the foreground teeth. So I'm going to save these at the very end. But I can pull like the gums out and stuff. Oh, the other painting I kept thinking of doing was Michelle, was like the evil baby, like evil New Year's baby. But every time I thought of it, I kept thinking of H.R. Giger's like wall of baby faces, and that was just gonna be too creepy for New Year's. Great painting, but oof. Shane, let me check tomorrow and see what I got. I may have a roll. If I don't, I might know someone else who does. Yeah, Evil Baby would have been awesome. Yeah, I just couldn't. I was having trouble drawing anything. Like I said, the past month I haven't painted much and been so out of it that it was like a struggle, and I was just kind of, like artist block, like writer's block, and everything I did I hated. So hopefully next year will be better, because this year wasn't as far as the end. Yeah, get with me next week and we'll check schedules and see what we got. We'll go from there. Alright, so pocket graphics. Oh, yeah. So like this is where pot graphs come in really handy, because I kind of want to make some little folds. So I'm just going to basically find some similar shapes and just kind of expand that a little bit. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I'm just kind of coming off and just making some extra folds there in the gums. Or the like membrane, whatever that's called. But now this one, because it's in the foreground, needs to be lighter than this one.
Oh, Dave.
Dave the Bug Gregory. Happy New Year, God. Thanks for sharing the spirit's knowledge. Thank you for the support, my friend. 2023 will be an even better year. We're going to keep growing this. I have a lot of plans. I think one day next week I'm going to do a full. And I've had it for. I've never had an airbrush this long. I got a brand new Iwata Eclipse Takumi that's unopened. So I want to do an unboxing and review. And I got a whole bunch of other stuff planned for you guys. Message me for ideas and things you need to learn or like to learn, and I'll try to get them in. I'm gonna do like a crash course video too, just basics and troubleshooting and some things. I haven't done those. I'm definitely gonna show a lot of plotter stuff and designing in Illustrator. That's coming as well. Just so much to do, but with support like from you guys, from you and Gary and Honey and Brett and everyone else, it makes it possible for me to sit and do these, because there's a lot of hours behind the computer. Like these 2-hour feeds, I know most of you guys know it, you've heard me say it. They're definitely not 2 hours of work. I spent most of yesterday just prepping for this one, and then it failed because of certain issues. So a lot goes into these. So I really do appreciate the support from everyone on and offline. A lot of you guys supporting other ways. McKay Fine Art. You guys are learning to do those projects. I will say my pattern set has been, for me, a record breaker. It's the most we've ever sold, especially in that short a time. So I really want to thank everyone who got behind that, because that was really cool. Like I said, I appreciate all the support. I don't do it solely for the money. I do it because I enjoy it. But the money does make it a little easier to spend some time. Keeps Kaylee busy as well. So I'm just gonna, I was just gonna do these freehand, but I think I'm just gonna register them in softly. Okay, what time we got?
9:17.
9:17 wasn't too bad so far. I've had some designed, and I have a couple left of my thin air graphics ones. I need to do ones for Airbrush Down Dirty Tricks, so the answer is no. I don't have any for sale, and I need to do some swag. So that's also on the list for this year, is swag. Shirts, hats. I gotta come up with I've never even done an Airbrush Down Dirty Tricks logo, really, or character, so I gotta do that. I have my thin air graphics ones, like the demon dog and stuff like that. So I definitely got to do that as well. If you guys are interested, let me know. I will definitely put some together if people are interested. Like even the Airbrush Tricks logo, that was designed by Dan Porter, and that was one we used for. Because I kind of designed this program in conjunction when I was doing the Airbrush Art Circus, so I basically revamped that a little bit. But I got to design something newer, something that'll work on shirts and hats and things like that. Michelle, you out?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and take a nap.
Good night, Michelle. Happy New Year if I don't see you. Well, it was an awesome year getting to hang with you. We'll hit it harder next year. And leave all this, you know what I'm talking about, in the background, and move on to bigger and better things. And profitable. Yep, I'll definitely be doing 2X talls, man. I'm right there with you. Okay, so that's good. Kind of in the bottom jaw now. Oops, I got this all tearing up. The mask is almost off. The other big way to support this, guys, is make sure you like and share it. Subscribe, do all that. That helps the algorithm. We're almost at 8,000 followers here. Trying to grow that more. And, you know, for those who don't know, the way it works, more followers, it changes the algorithm, more people see it. And then it opens up more options. Like when I get to 10,000, there's more things I can do on the page. They just don't let you do things until you hit a certain, like, kind of market cap, where they know you're kind of in it. The bottom was almost laid in. Get to the top. Then it's just freehand city. Oh, I got a little tail going. No, there's been no bids on this one, but lots and lots of super chat support. So that helps immensely. But no bids in general. But I think you guys' super chats tonight has actually exceeded the normal amount of bids I get on the feed. So, you know, everyone pitching in is, you know, massive help. I feel the love. I feel the love. Yeah, if I thought of that, yeah, I should have thought of a New Year's cause for that. But once you do causes, it's a different thing online. I got to do it. When you do causes and raffles, like for cause, you got to set it up a very specific way to do it right and all legal. So, but yeah, that would have been a good idea. I'll figure that out in the next couple of weeks. We'll do a... Thank you, Allie. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's what I mean. Because they set all those darks up first, that makes out here very little work. There's more here, and you're more strategic out here. So you go from looser, darker shading to more like subtle details. Like I really got to push this back because it's background, so see. But once I get this all masked, I can work here for hours, days. I can do whatever I want back here. Because all the structure and all the minor details in place. Just like this whole back, the whole back of the hood I can do now, because I can come up here and I can get his kind of crown I have with like all these extra kind of hooks, horns on it. And I can pull this whole top off because the rest. Carl, thank you. Carl, can you write that down? You know what I'm doing this year? I need to get a notebook, a log book, so we can just log each feed, who bid what, when, so I know, because I'm so bad at getting them done. I have to go back through and like, who did that and who did that.
Well, I write them down.
No, I know, but we are about Post-it notes, and I lose them. I need to get like a notebook and log every year, so I know throughout the year who did what and, you know, things like that. It would just be beneficial. Oops. So Carl put a bid in of 150. Thank you, Carl. Yeah, I know it rips and tears, but in some ways I like it. I know what you're saying, but it gives you just a different edge. It's so thin. And I'll be honest, my mask is so old. I can see up here, then it's like a quarter of the painting. And I don't have to do a ton up here to get a big effect. You know, let's see if we can do a little bit. Let's find this guy. He can kind of simulate some scales up in here. But it just... Because most times when you're looking right here. This is just all the... This is all just kind of, not filler, but it kind of brings your eye to this. If you look at like dynamic proportions, you know, it brings your eye right to this. So I'm going to get back here pretty dark because I want to, again, if I want his face to pop out, I need it dark somewhat. I mean, obviously it's catching light because of it's the top of the hood, but cool. Come out. All right. Next. Let's come out here. We gotta do the gums. So this one's a little tricky because right here is the upper palate of the mouth, and it's kind of between each tooth. It's a little hard to see, obviously, because I got so much paint here. And this is what I'm talking about, like if I was doing this as like a how-to for you guys to buy and follow, I gotta zoom in here more, I gotta plan it out a little different. So when I do these feeds, it's a little bit... everything makes sense. Oh, and Shane, I was gonna say, the one thing about this mask, when you're on these metal panels, everything pulls off hard because you're on a sanded E-coat. If you put a base coat down, you know, of anything, the mask peels like nothing. It's when it's sanded clear, or especially these panels of sanded E-coat, even the, like I said, the blue mask and the green pull much harder than they normally would. Ben, that's really good to hear, man. I'm glad it helped. So I've had some hard Fridays, but if watching this helps, man, that's awesome. And thank you for popping in. If I ever get to Germany, we'll have to meet up. So again, that's going to be a little darker. And you can kind of see that tooth in there, and another one in here. Maybe another little one there. A couple little teeth. I got a... So I wouldn't use any of the masking from Cricut or Oracal. Oracal's got some decent stuff, but some of this stuff is just not good for urethane. I don't think I'd use the Cricut brand for what we do for work. But I use mostly FBS. I also use some Avery, some Gerber and 3M make some decent stuff. And I usually use those for like the big chunky areas where I have to use a lot of mask for like big cuts. Because the FBS is a premium mask. It is not designed to like be in the marketplace against 3M and Avery. That stuff, you're buying like $100 for a huge roll of it. It's a lot thicker than FBS. And FBS is a lot more expensive. But FBS, we need all the fine detail, all that really nuanced stuff. That's what it's designed for. They designed it for artists like us who needed a very crucial, high detailed use mask. They did not design it for the vinyl slappers who just do a ton of vinyl on the side of a truck or a car, or like, dude, when I'm doing a train, when me, Rhino, and Shorty did that train a couple years ago, that train was 90 feet. And each letter was over a foot tall, so I wasn't using mass that cost 4 times as much for something like that. It just makes no sense. Oh, you know what? I can pull these teeth out now. So watch, see, I kept these teeth. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave the teeth for the very end. Very end, very end, very end. We're going to get into the eye socket here. Telling you, if you want to do a project that's just like this, but it's plottable, or printable and cuttable, it's my Dragon Paint by Numbers project. I think I'm going to rename it, but we actually, Shane was part of it. I'm not sure if anyone else was part of it. But when we did the first Dragon project on the Lumalore panel, it kind of developed into a step-by-step how-to. And we just numbered it as we went. So if you get the Dragon project is basically the same as this. I can darken that eye up. Speaking of tape pulling, I don't know if it's bad masking tape and paint mask gets stuck to my dirty, cold cement. Oh yeah, when it gets on the cement floor, man, it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, scrape that shit off. Okay, nostrils and teeth, and then just detail time. We still got one bid on this. The bid's at $150. And it will go for that $150. Shipping's like $20 usually. Luckily, these are pretty light, so they really haven't gone up too much on me. Nostrils. Like I said, yeah, these boards, like they hold it. But if I put base, like if I put a little bit of base coat down, or a little inner coat, this mask would peel with no tearing. It's funny. Like it wouldn't do that. It would just slide right off. Yeah, Shane, this project pretty much follows the same method. Let's see how we're doing. The original guy here. So that was the sketch a couple hours ago. And that's it shaded. Yeah, so Brady, if you go to McKayFineArt.com, there's the dragon paint by numbers. And actually, if Kaylee wants to get the two of them.
Oh, I forgot there were two.
Because I did one on a white panel going from dark to light up the chain. They did one on a black panel that goes the other way.
These are really hard to get out.
Oh, sorry.
It's just because of the wood.
Yeah.
There's one.
One second. So yeah.
Do you want me to grab the other one?
Yep, so you can see this is pretty similar. It's a similar look, and the process is pretty much the same. And this is done on a white panel. And then I did the same project in reverse order. So instead of going 1 to 25, I went 25 to 1, and that was on a black panel using white. So two different effects for the same project.
I don't know if I can put them back up.
That's fine, I can put them back up. So yeah, keep talking about the massive PS gold. Yeah, but you don't need to be doing cars. I mean, I use it mostly for my illustrations. The Cricut stuff is kind of equatable to Avery or the General Formulations brand, which you can get a 24 by 50 yard roll of that for about $120, which is a lot of material. FBS, they make pieces on sheets like backed, and then you can get the small rolls, but it's just different material. Mostly the FBS, the benefit to it is the fact that how much it bends around curves. That's really... Yeah, the problem with yellow frog tape from the store is that stuff, when it gets wet, is designed to seal a weird way. You can use it, but they're not giving that stuff away any cheaper. I would honestly, the regular FBS production line tape, this is their regular like body shop production on the green, and then this is the yellow is a high performance. This stuff is way cheaper than frog tape, especially when you're buying it in like a sleeve. And you could also get like regular 3M 2 through 3 series automotive and some other stuff. Frog tape, they kill you at the stores on that stuff, but it works. But they kill you. But in a pinch, anything works. Which is funny because pretty much the 233 green and some other ones is almost like frog tape. You know, the nice thing about a company like FBS or some of the smaller brands is they're making tape for, you know, artist design. People work with solvents and water-based like grade paints in a different way, whereas the other companies are making it for big mass market. Yeah, the yellow mask is not for round curves. The yellow mask is strictly for subtle curves or like flats. You want to use their blue mask or their green for anything curved. That's kind of the design of it. Because the gold mask is their KUTG gold. Now the nice thing about this is it sticks to anything, and it also, it's the only tape, really it's the only tape that does this, where you can stick it to itself, and then it just slides right back apart. Stick it to itself, and slides right apart, which is really nice. And when you go out like this, it'll close 100%, won't leak. So Line is basically, I don't know if it's made by the same company that makes our tape. There's a couple companies that make the same versions like FBS does, but they're a different grade. And that's our tape and a few other ones. And basically the Line is just rebranded. It's, you know, 5 or 6 companies have that same tape, they just slap a different label on it. FBS makes something like that too. So a lot of FBS is, was it custom tapes and lines or something like that is manufactured by FBS. So Line works good, but it's their green, which is kind of like FBS's green, only not as flexible. But it's still good. It's good. It's not bad. It's just, you know, again, there's varying levels. You know, there's some stuff that's designed to go a certain way, and some stuff's designed for, you know, mass volume Amazon sales. Yeah, KUTG is pretty much the best tape on the planet. It just is. And everyone else is basically trying to replicate it. I think the only one close to it is 3M's rice tape. The rice paper tape, which is good as well. Price-wise, I don't think it compares to FBS's at all. Now we start doing some texture. And we're going to start doing some scales. We'll start doing a little bit of this, adding a little bit of that. See how just that little bit starts to add just more interest. actually just add some more shape to it. This is true. Look, man, everyone feels bad about their quality at any given time. I've been struggling this week. It's all process. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. And those problems, once you work them out, turn into solutions. And then you just get better and better. It really is just... It's really just putting your time in, unfortunately. It's really no way around it. And practicing. Like, I haven't been drawing or painting that much original stuff lately for myself, and it's showing when I try to, like, concept something. So I need to get back to drawing for fun again. I haven't been doing that. Because I've been busy doing other stuff, but it's all part of it. Well, no, yeah, they don't compare it to Bryson because they make so much of it. They kind of can't, not that they can't, but they kind of can't. Just because of the volume they have to make product in. Like, I've heard some of the stats of how they have to, like when they make tape, the batch volume sizes. And something like it takes a month to run all the blue. And if it's so much is down for half a day, they'll lose money on the entire month's batch of like millions of dollars in tape. Because the margins are that tight. So yeah, that's why they don't change stuff up quick. Because they really, not defending them, but I kind of get it from a business standpoint. Alright, you can get the teeth out. Yeah, I get it. Yep, work does pile up. I do have, I have some work coming in, some bikes. I've had a good month that was pretty light. And I used that time to get my bathroom, the new bathroom done in the house. And a bunch of other work around here. And I'm trying to take light amounts of work for January. So I can really kind of grow this channel some more, and there's some stuff I want to do. Sorry, see, I kept the teeth to the end, so they stay the whitest, and they just really pop. You never know, man. People get inspired for all sorts of things. Don't belittle yourself on it. Especially with some of the stuff on TikTok. And really, don't worry about inspiring someone. You are. But just inspire yourself, work yourself, and then the rest will fall in line. It really will. That snake's gonna gum you to death. Couple little details in the teeth. I don't want to take away too much. Yeah. Some light shading. We're going to do some erasing. We'll bring in some light highlights quick and call this done. And actually what I'm going to do now a little bit more down here. I want to pull this tape off because I want to shadow this so it really makes them leap. Thanks, Shane. pull the outer edge.
What's the airbrush you're using?
What's that?
Airbrush you're using.
Oh, this I'm using one of my microns. This is the custom micron. And then everything else I've just been using a regular Eclipse. I could probably get away with 90% of this painting with just an Eclipse. So now I should be able to pull this. And that tongue's coming over. This is going to give it that extra little depth, see? You know, I did cut this to go under, but it's not gonna. It's gonna be coming out from the side. Yeah, man, anytime. So right here, so I kind of lose the hood a little bit. But the first thing I cut, thank you, Gary. The first thing we cut was this, which isn't in line. So what I've got to do is, this is where, what's nice about KUTG, or the gold mask at this size, is I can just do this, and I can see through it, because I want to cut right on the same spot, so I can create that drop shadow and lift this head off the background. That'll make him look like he's coming out. Thank you, Miss Kelly. So that little bit there, and I'm really just gonna put a little kiss or shadow. And watch what this does. It's gonna get dark. Oh yeah, that kit was great. But honestly, you know, you can still get most of those guns. I know the custom series are gone, but I got a feeling they'll come back up. See, that's not dark enough. I thought it was dark enough. Not dark enough. So what I need to do is go darker right. You need to have that lift. There we go. See that difference? That little... It's all about contrast. The right amount of contrast. We'll get it. You know, and if you really want, you could go in with straight black and darken any areas up that you want to be super dark, but I don't think it's really necessary. I think it looks pretty bitchin'. So I'm going to clean out this gun. I'm going to throw a little bit of white in here. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to throw white. I'm going to brush paint some white and just give it... I'm just going to do a quick rinse if I need it. I can put some white in here. And if not... We're just going to do some illustration opaque white on a brush. Call this done. So right now the only bid is still $150. So now I'm just gonna put some brush strokes. Really just to give a little texture to it. No, I don't run a manifold anymore. I run one hose with a quick connect. The only time I run a manifold is when I'm doing like t-shirt gigs and I have like my t-shirt rig set up. Sometimes I'll run 2 hoses, it's about all I'll run. Let's see. Yep, so no, just one hose in quick connects. But see, sometimes brush painting, man, it just gives it a different feel. Gives it a little extra pattern to it. Especially like up on the edges. And I'm going to go up in here, just give it just a little bit of something.
Carl moved it up.
Thank you, sir. Put a little bit of highlight in the eye. See, it's just these little highlights. Just help. Like I said, I could airbrush them, but I just want to give it a little bit of a painter feel. Especially on like the tongue, it kind of gives a nice drool effect. I can give it some highlights there. I kind of just putting a couple little of these kind of almost flood strokes with a brush. Gives it a cool look that just airbrushing doesn't do. My voice gets softer when I do a brush. It's a happy though brushwork. Today, kids, we're gonna paint a happy little snake. He's not a mean snake. He's a happy snake. Oh, this would have been perfect. I should have brought my positive energy drinks. Are they still out there? Or are they down? I think they might be downstairs on the stairs.
They might be.
You guys gotta see these. You're gonna laugh your ass off figuring that we're just talking about Bob Ross. Do some brushwork.
I don't see them.
Go to the bottom of the stairs. They're in like a little gift bag. No? Okay, come up. The box that's on the bench has like some gift stuff in it, like the pet rock and that stuff. I think it's in there.
Yep.
There's 2 cans. Alright, thank you very much. Yeah, man, I love adding some brushwork, and I use this from, I learned adding brushwork in from Rod Fuchs, watching Rod work. So, one of the best Christmas gifts. The Bob Ross Positive Energy Drink. Isn't that awesome? We'll have to drink one on another feed and do a Bob Ross happy feed. Oh, I gotta beat the devil out of it. Awesome. Dude, I gotta do like a character Bob Ross or something. And just we all have to come up with all the different like statements and stuff he said. But look, I'm gonna do some scales. So simulate scales. Then I can throw the airbrush in and go from there. And this is a good tip for like guys on budget wise. It's like, look, I can spend all day doing scales, but if the customer doesn't have the budget, and you're not spending, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on it, then this works just fine. It's cool. People dig it. It's like 5 minutes of work. And it just gives, like I said, it gives a different feel. Here, we're going to throw this in the gun. And we'll add a little bit of shading. And we will call this done. So over here, we'll tone that out. We'll smooth some of these brush strokes out. We'll do a little bit on the eye. Watch this. We're just going to do a little bit of glow across the eye. See that little bit of glow? Oh, you can always pay more. Like some of these paintings were, Gary and a few of the other ones, depending on that, sometimes we'll go in afterwards and we'll add more and more. It tastes like trees, squirrels, and bad. Steve's comment's the best. Because it's so true.
Specifically big squirrels.
No, considering bad business decisions. And I hesitate to say too much because I don't want to get sued. Knowing those people. Over here. And then here. And I think we're going to sign this baby. What time we got? Oh, it's 10:01. We are 26 hours from the new year. This is the last feed of where's my black one? Of 2022. I'm going to sign this thing. And this will be the last one signed in 2022. I'm going to do a little skull down here. A little happy crossbones. And that, kids, is
So Michael Scared asked, how would you make it look like it's drooling?
I would probably just take like this, and I would probably add some down here, and maybe do a little here, maybe a little off the teeth, just like that. Usually I would just put a little bit off like that, just here and there, then I'd airbrush it. But not overdo it. That's what I think a lot of people make the mistake. Is they overdo it. And I used to be king of it. I used to do it way too much. And that's it. Little drool. Happy little drool. So on that note, we are after 10. One more cheers. I want to thank everyone for an awesome 2022 and holiday season. I wish you all an awesome 2023, making it profitable, healthy, successful, and happy. And we'll check in next week. And me and Steve are going to do that fireside chat. We're going to plan that for 2023 and a few other things. Send in your ideas, requests, some things you want to see different That's all going to help me make a better channel. Share, like, subscribe to this. Make sure you hit notifications so when I go online, you'll get the notification on your phone. So I'm going to start doing some daytime impromptu stuff. That's going to start happening. Some really quick ones. So I want to thank everyone. Cheers. Happy New Year. See you in 2023. We are out of here. See ya.